Salubrias, Regal Street Meat Company. My name is Irene Ratliff. We are currently hosting from Ominala Griot Teacher Museum. I wanted to say that on starting July 1st, we will not be hosting from Ominala Griot Teacher Museum. We will be looking for another location. I will keep you posted on that information beginning soon. So as I'm pursuing other avenues, I will let you guys and keep you guys informed on the Street Meat Company mailing list, okay? I wanted to say that we will be hosting these next 2 Thursdays from Ominala Griot. So yes, we are looking for your support. Please come join with us. And, hey, let's build Kwanzaa and also other avenues for economic development. I wanted to say, please, prior to me actually doing this video, I was watching Alex Haley's Queen. Please look at that, okay? Please, 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 please. It's a really, really good movie it's an enlightenment, to tell you the truth. It begins somewhere and watch it. Okay. Also, I wanted to say that I've been getting in contact with Workforce Development, and I've also gotten in contact with the Department of Labor, made some connections here, I think it was. But I would be the first one to say, I don't know about some of these labels, Black, African American, hip hop, some of these other labels that we put in front of, let's say, our economics or our business, or I tell you the God honest truth, it's questionable. So that being said, this is why we want to establish the organization, is because we want to make sure that there's opportunities for people, if they're coming from different situations. On average, when we look at those of us who are looking for employment, those who kind of like stabled whatever it is they're doing, they may not be interested. Some people have their jobs, they come home, they go to church, they go, they cool, Then you have people who coming out of school, they may have inventions or some ideas, they're looking more than just looking for work, then that's something else too, So when we're looking at people who feel like they're trying to achieve things, I think everybody's approach is a little different, but hey, they're like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. I ain't gonna fib to you. When we find people like that, it's more like, come on, what you got going on? I want to create that kind of team where, people are coming from and they want to do things. You need to have a system, a support group that support them like that, and the truth, really, really, really the truth. I wanted to say too that in the conversation that I was having, it was so good. But I wanted to say something about enough. And enough is not enough when you cannot pay your bills. Enough is not enough when you feel like you can, when you want to purchase things. So when we're talking about funding, that's one thing. And, the way I see it, that and beyond, is that anybody who's making a substantial amount of money, there's one thing being able to pay your bills monthly. But if you feel like you're flowing, there's people who pay their bills, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I mean, they pay their bills up, hey, they know they got mortgage, you got money. You paying your bills once a year. Okay, so let's just take the cellular phone for an example. Your cellular phone bill is $50 every month. You know that your mortgage is, $700 a month. What else? Hey, you just know light bill should be about this amount of money every month. So when you times that, then you know that, hey, you can pay your bills yearly, then have money to save it up and for the next year, or even to make sure that you can pay money on for the following year. Then now we're talking about money, but when we're paying bills month to month, I mean, and we're talking about ends meet, it is not enough. You understand? And even then, when we're looking at paying it for year to year like that, we got to make sure that there's enough money to save that to pay for the next year. You understand where I'm coming from? Okay. So all that being said, it had went into the conversation about economics. Now, I started talking about Hurricane Katrina. And so that being said, is that when those levees broke, that was a port. And I really felt at that time that that port at the Ninth Ward, when those levees broke, that was the port that we should have built. But then what happened is that they had hurriedly tried to build some houses over there, and then all of a sudden we ended up having that oil. And I said, you know what? Before all that stuff took place, I said there's some oil underneath there, and I still think there's oil underneath there. So what happened was we had all these other people coming, and they wanted to drill oil over there in that area, and I just said, okay, how convenient, the Cubans, and then, okay, we got these other folks coming all the way from Russia, and then, and then talking about this other stuff. Anyway, we was able to have a port and oil that was over there. That's what I think. Okay, don't get it twisted. I went somewhere else, but you know what I mean. So anyway, enough is not enough if if I'm not dissatisfied, and that means that, hey, there's some things to do. And so this is why I feel like I want to work on creating jobs. Okay, so somebody said, well, why don't you say employment? Well, employment is when you've already you already developed a job. Now you're working on you built it. So now when we look at employed, that means that now you're building the maintenance for it. You're adding to it. So it's established, okay? So now, hey, I'm going to look for some employment. It's established. When you want to create jobs, that means that it's at a development stage. That means that now you're building it. You're looking at if it's feasible, you're looking at the marketing and all these different kind of things. Okay, so this is the reason why I say creating jobs and sustainable employment. So there's a lot of things that we can do. There was things in the transportation industry, like the trains. There was, you could build trains, and I was really impressed of learning of the streetcar. However, if you ask me, I thought it would have been more accessible for us to consider building another track going out to Conyers. Conyers, Georgia, so MARTA does go all the way down to Indian Creek or something like that, Indian Hill or whatever it is. But I thought it would have been even more of an extension to go all the way out to Conyers, So, hey, everybody spend their money, how they spend their money. I sure wish I had my funds like that. I'd be like, I'm waiting for my inheritance. Or you don't want to utilize my inheritance. Hello. And anyway. So that being said, is that, the way the avocation is I know that we have it going on, but how do we help other people have what we have? So that means that we're elevating, because I'm letting you know right now, wow. There's things that we can do in terms of creating jobs, and so I think that's where I want to focus on, and that's where it's at. Someone had asked me about Kite Society. Kite Society, the acronym for KITE is Knowledge, Intelligence, Trades, Talents, Education. Okay. I use those acronyms as general, but I guess if we were not using acronyms, it would be Kite Society, where we would be focused on law. And I guess the way that I thought of it initially is that I have a lot of ideas that I wanted to create in terms of job creations. And for me to look at, let's say, going toward the law for what I felt was going on with me, that part is true. But then the onset of all those men being, we saw the news, okay? There could have been connections, but what it was is that they were so occupied with that it just looked like it looked. That when we're looking at, let's say, injustice, now you have, violations and things of that nature. All of it requires working with people. You understand where I'm coming from? So when I was here, right, I needed to find a place to stay. I was relocating, so I needed to find a place to stay. I needed to do this, I needed to do that. All this other stuff was taking place. And, the thing was, is that me being able to afford a place to stay. Me going out there talking about those concerns, it matters too. Don't get me misunderstood, it matters. But when we look at our well-being, our livelihood, and things of that nature, that becomes law and rights in terms of how we living. So when I was watching the movie, he said, our country and his way of life, his livelihood. He said he felt like he had a right to protect it. So then I would start looking at looking around. I said, well, let me ask him, okay. So people feel like they have a right to protect the way they're living. So I'm rich and wealthy. I feel like I want to protect my way of living. You understand? Okay. Do I feel like that I want to protect my livelihood, or here it is, that flow and the effort for me to achieve opening doors for other? I think I should be more than willing to have protection under the human civil constitutional rights, because to me it means that I want to open up avenues not only for me but for other people. So when that man said that to me, it's like, okay, do you think people who live in poverty is trying to protect that? So who's trying to protect people who are homeless? Is that a way of life? At that point, it became a question of how we want to view what that is. So when we're looking at growing and developing and building, to tell you the truth, I wrote this information about Women of the Say, and I said, our family heirloom. Our family heirloom, and what does that mean? Our values, what does it mean? Our value system, it matters. Okay, so Kite Society, when we start talking about all the rights, I think there should be a group of us that sit down and go over laws. But I didn't go flip to, honey. I didn't go to the law library. They do have one for Fulton County. I just went to the Central Library out here, and I start opening up the law book. Now, mind you, there's different kind of laws. You got city laws, county laws, state laws, meaning ordinances and rules and things like that, and federal. So when we start looking at laws, everybody goes straight to federal. And I think that's a big question. The reason why is that when we start looking at laws, each one of these states is sovereign, kind of, sort of. Then we have federal. That's supposed to, once the states start going into the federal, then it's supposed to mean something here and there. But the state have its laws, the county, and the city. So anyway, I opened up the book, baby, I ain't gonna flip to you. I was like, what does it mean? So there's law books from years ago. So I open it up, I'm looking at it, I'm reading it. I know we have these people who are out there and we're reading all these history books and stuff like that. Can we get a group of people who understand the Constitution, the human rights, civil rights? Some of those stuff look like it look. When you start opening up those law books and understanding that's just, sometimes we're just probably looking at whatever it is that we're looking for. And then now you're looking at the connections. But anyway, so I was looking at the law books. So yes, Kite Society people, I do feel like there should be some support. We need to build the legal team for that. Not only the legal team, but we also need to build security and protection, because those events that took place with me or anybody else, or, or people feel like they've been for real sidewinded somewhere, we know that somebody's doing it. The truth. And my condolences go out to all those men and their families and the women, the children. They just was informing me about something that took place out there in Texas. No, honey, when they say Kite Society, baby, I mean just that. They should just know, like that. Like, wow, really? No, it's not okay. So I am in support for that, but you have to have funding to go to various places, and I think that's when we start looking at our pockets. We start looking at the front pockets, side pockets, the pockets here in the back, and start looking at the brassiere. Okay, so that means that now we probably have to look beyond just handmade products, but get over to the bigger cheese. You know what I mean? So anyway, people, Salubrious, hosting from Ominala Griot Teaching Museum. We will be looking for another location beginning now, but starting July 1st, we will be at another location, okay? And I do give grand thanks for the opportunity for me to be hosting from here. And please go to GoFundMe.com, or you can search it from Ominala and look for opportunity to donate to the museum. It needs restoration, and I'm all in support for that. Okay. I wanted to say too that it's all good, people. From Woman of the Say, I think, this is the thing. Do you think it should be Woman of the Say, Lady of the Say, or Lilium of the Say? So that was a thing too. I'm working on some other thing, and the women that I work with or talk to, we're forming groups. And the group is, I'm asking them their opinion of what they think it should be. Woman of the Say, Lilium of the Say, Lady of the Say. So let me know what you guys think about that too. Okay? And so Kite Society, that's legal. And we have Street Meat Company. Okay? Oh yeah, and Lauded Enterprises. It all sounds like it's this, that, and the other, but it focuses on community beautification, social, and economic development. Thanks, people. Salubrious, Irene Rattler.